Okay, so imagine you're about to drive off the lot, right? Shiny new car. You've got the pen in your hand. You're ready to sign what feels like the millionth document.
Yeah.
But what if I told you there might be a way to actually rewrite the terms of that deal to potentially unlock like hidden value that you didn't even know existed?
Right.
That's kind of what we're diving into today, right? This whole intriguing world of car loans
Yeah.
and this little thing called original issue discount.
Oy.
OED. There you go. See, you know way more than I do.
Yep.
But it might sound like something out of like a finance textbook.
Sure.
But trust me, this is knowledge that could put you back in the driver's seat, right?
Yes.
when it comes to your finances. So, okay, you sign the loan agreement. Everything seems pretty straightforward. You get the car. The bank gets their money back plus interest. Right.
But here's where it gets kind of interesting.
Okay.
That car loan agreement that you signed, right?
Yeah.
It's not just a formality.
It's not.
It functions as what's called a negotiable instrument, right?
That's right.
So you've essentially pledged your future payments as a kind of valuable asset.
Yes.
And the way those payments are structured, well, that's where I guess the OID comes in, right?
Exactly.
So walk me through this whole OID thing.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
what's the catch?
So think of it this way. So the bank doesn't always pay the full sticker price for your loan.
Okay.
So let's say you're financing a $20,000 car.
Right.
The bank might only pay the dealership, let's say, $18,000 upfront.
Okay.
That $2,000 difference.
Yeah.
That's the OID.
Okay.
And it accrues interest.
Oh, interest that you might be entitled to claim.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying there's a chance, like, I've been overpaying on my car loan this whole time because of this OID thing?
Potentially, yeah. That's what we're going to kind of unpack here.
Yeah.
Because, see, most people don't realize that the difference between the loan's face value, so that $20,000 in our example,
Right.
and what the bank actually paid,
Okay.
that's where this kind of hidden value lies.
Oh, wow.
And this isn't just like some legal loophole or anything like that. This is actually grounded in the Uniform Commercial Code,
Okay.
or UCC, which governs these types of transactions.
Okay, so the UCC is like the rule book for all this.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. But how does it actually apply to, like, me and my car loan?
So it all comes down to your rights as a borrower.
Yep.
So when you take out a loan, you have certain rights and recourses if something goes wrong.
Right.
And those rights, according to the UCC, can actually transfer to the bank that holds your loan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So instead of it just being like a contract between me and the dealership, my loan agreement is part of this bigger like financial ecosystem
Exactly.
that's governed by the UCC.
Exactly. And what's so fascinating about this is that this connection to the UCC, it's not just theoretical. It actually gives you a legal basis to potentially make a claim if something seems off.
Wow.
Like if you weren't fully informed about the OID, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, if the bank can inherit my rights
Yeah.
and claims against the dealership by holding my loan, does that mean they also inherit any potential issues with how that loan was structured in the first place?
Now you're getting it. It's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket.
Wow.
Most people don't even know this exists, but you can use this knowledge of OID to level the playing field with lenders.
Okay. So how does this secret weapon actually work? Like, what can you actually do if you think you've been left in the dark about OID?
Yeah, that's where this whole idea of a plea comes in.
Okay.
But we're not talking about like begging or anything like that.
Right.
We're talking about strategically and legally asserting your rights as a borrower.
Okay, so please, sir, can I have some more and more? I know my rights and I'm prepared to, like, exercise them.
Precisely. And the basis of this plea could be the lack of full disclosure about the OID. Remember how we were saying that the bank might buy your loan at a discount?
Right.
Well, you have a right to know about that discount.
Okay.
And if it wasn't like clearly disclosed, you might have a case for something called unjust enrichment.
Unjust enrichment. That sounds serious.
Yeah, it means that someone, in this case potentially the bank, benefited financially at your expense and you weren't aware of it or didn't consent to it.
Okay.
Remember that $2,000 OID from our example earlier?
Yeah.
If the bank is collecting interest on that full $20,000
Right.
when they only paid $18,000, are they truly entitled to all of it?
Okay, so by understanding OID and the UCC,
Yeah.
I can potentially, like, challenge the terms of my loan agreement based on this idea of unjust enrichment.
Yeah, you're catching on quick. It's all about leverage. You fulfilled your end of the bargain by making your payments.
Yeah.
Right.
Now it's about making sure the other side was being upfront and fair.
This is blowing my mind. But let's get, practical here.
Sure.
What would a successful, plea based on OID and unjust enrichment actually look like?
It could take a few different forms.
Okay.
You might be able to negotiate a lower principal balance on your loan, effectively reducing the amount that you owe.
Okay.
Or you might be able to secure a lower interest rate, saving you money over the life of the loan.
Right.
In some cases, you might even be entitled to financial compensation.
So, potential real tangible benefits.
Yeah.
Lower monthly payments, paying less overall, maybe even get some cash back.
Exactly. It's about reclaiming that hidden value that we talked about.
Right.
The value that OID represents. But, and this is crucial, you have to be prepared to make your case. What do you mean, make my case? This is starting to sound like I need a law degree.
You don't need a law degree.
Okay, good.
But you do need to understand the principles at play and be ready to advocate for yourself.
Okay.
That might mean gathering your loan documents, researching the relevant UCC provisions, maybe even consulting with a legal professional who specializes in this area.
So knowledge is power, but preparation is key.
Absolutely.
Don't just assume you can walk into a bank and demand a new car because you heard it on a podcast.
Exactly. It's about understanding your rights, having a solid strategy, and being persistent. The banks have teams of lawyers.
Right.
You deserve to have the knowledge to level the playing field.
This is eye-opening stuff. I feel like we've been handed the decoder ring to this whole hidden world of financial transactions.
Yeah, that's the power of knowledge.
Right.
It can completely shift your perspective. And what's interesting is this isn't just about car loans.
Right.
This is about understanding that you have more agency than you might think in all sorts of financial agreements.
So it's once you see the matrix, you can't unsee it.
Exactly.
You start noticing these patterns everywhere.
Yeah, mortgages, student loans, even credit card agreements.
Right.
They all involve contracts.
Right.
And those contracts are subject to laws like the UCC.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start asking those questions, right, and digging into the details,
Yeah.
you might be surprised at what you find.
It's empowering, right?
Oh, absolutely.
To realize that you don't have to just passively accept whatever terms are put in front of you.
Yeah. And the more people that understand these concepts, I think, the more level the playing field becomes. Knowledge is power in these situations.
So for our listeners out there who are feeling inspired and they want to know what's the first step? Where do they go from here?
I think a great first step is just taking a closer look at your own financial agreements.
Okay.
Don't let those documents just gather dust. Read the fine print, especially anything related to interest rates, fees, how your payments are calculated.
And if something doesn't seem right, or if they think they might have a case based on, what we've been discussing.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. Reach out to the lender, consult with a financial advisor, or seek legal counsel if needed.
Right.
Remember, you have rights.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to be your own advocate.
This has been an incredible deep dive. We've gone from feeling powerless against a system that we don't understand to having the tools to potentially reshape the system in our favor.
And that's what it's all about. It's about empowering you to make more informed decisions.
Right.
And navigate your financial life with confidence.
So next time you're about to sign on the dotted line, right?
Yeah.
Remember this conversation. That signature, it's not just a formality.
It's not.
It's an opportunity.
That's right.
An opportunity to advocate for yourself, to understand the rules of the game, and maybe even
Rewrite the terms of the deal.
rewrite the terms of the deal. There you go. I was going to say something way less eloquent, I'm sure. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.